Cowboys Nation, buckle up because what I'm about to break down for you is one of the most electrifying, surprising, and honestly era-defining moments we've talked about on this channel in a long, long time, and I'm telling you right now that this video is going to be absolutely loaded because the Dallas Cowboys have just executed what I can only describe as a seismic, earth-shaking, stadium-rattling blockbuster move that has not only sent the NFL world into a frenzy but has also completely rear-ended the expectations for this team heading into the upcoming season, as reports from inside the organization confirm that Dallas has officially brought in the electric, the instinctive, the technically gifted young cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. in a massive trade that instantly transforms the Cowboys' secondary into one of the fiercest, deepest, and most dangerous groups in the entire league. And trust me when I say that this move has Cowboys fans running around like kids on Christmas morning. Nobody expected Dallas to pull a trigger like this in such dramatic fashion, especially at this moment in the offseason when everything seemed quiet, steady, and relatively predictable, but leave it to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office to liven things up with a splash move that not only shakes the table but absolutely flips it over. Now let me just walk you through how monumental this is, because when we talk about Asante Samuel Jr., we're talking about a player whose instincts, footwork, and ball-hawking mindset have made him one of the most exciting young defensive backs in the league since he entered the pros, a guy who plays with the kind of confidence, swagger, and competitive fire that fits perfectly into the Dallas culture, a guy who has the bloodline, the football IQ, and the natural feel for the game that shows up every single time he steps on the field. This is a kid who doesn't just cover receivers, he studies them, shadows them, predicts them, outsmarts them, and then breaks their hearts by getting his hands on the football. And to add that type of player to a room that already includes Trevon Diggs, who is one of the most gifted ballhawks in the NFL, and Darren Bland, who just put up a pick-six season for the ages, is borderline unfair for opposing offenses. And think about the ripple effect this creates across the entire defense. You now have a trio of cornerbacks who can handle man coverage, zone concepts, inside assignments, outside matchups, deep threats, physical possession receivers, quick-twitch slot guys, whatever challenges the offense throws out there. The Cowboys now have the personnel to respond with confidence and aggression, and that's exactly the identity that new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer is looking to build as he takes control of this unit. If you've watched Zimmer throughout his coaching career, you know he values disciplined footwork, smart coverage, physical tackling, and most importantly, players who can diagnose plays quickly, and Asante Samuel Jr. checks every one of those boxes with big bold ink circles around them. You can almost see Zimmer smiling right now because this pickup gives him chess pieces to move in ways he just couldn't before. Imagine this defense on third down with Micah Parsons pinning his ears back, Osa Odighizuwa collapsing the pocket, and then behind them you've got three ultra-competitive corners locking down passing lanes so quarterbacks hold onto the ball a second longer. That is a defensive coordinator's dream scenario. But what makes this move even more exciting is how it changes the Cowboys' overall identity. For years people have said Dallas has the talent but not the depth, the star power but not the late-season resilience, the early-season flash but not the January grit, and now all of a sudden Dallas is building something that looks dangerously close to championship ready. You don't make a move like this unless you believe your contending window is open right now, and you don't invest in a player like Asante Samuel Jr. unless you believe he can help push you over the hump that has been haunting this franchise for almost 3 decades. And let's talk about the energy he brings. This is a competitor with explosive confidence, a guy who doesn't shy away from big moments, a guy who has already stepped up in playoff games early in his career, a guy whose motor never cools down, and a guy whose father was one of the smartest cornerbacks of his generation, which means Samuel Jr. has been digesting high-level football IQ since he was a kid. It's in his DNA. It's in his preparation. It's in his mentality every single time he lines up across from a receiver. Now pair that with Diggs' instincts and Bland's discipline and suddenly the Cowboys' secondary has 3 players who all do something different yet complementary. Diggs is the gambler, the home run hitter. Bland is the technician with physicality and burst. And Samuel Jr. is the short area mirror specialist with elite route recognition. and that combination is something opposing offensive coordinators are going to have nightmares about. You give Zimmer those tools and this defense could easily climb into that top-tier elite status we've all been waiting to see fully realized. And listen, don't underestimate what this also does for the locker room, because a bold move like this sends a message, loud and clear, that the front office is not sitting back, they're not being passive, they're not waiting for development, they're going out and getting proven young talent that can contribute immediately. This tells Micah Parsons, this tells Dak Prescott, this tells CeeDee Lamb, this tells the entire team, we believe in you, we're investing in you, and we're going all in for this season. That type of message resonates in ways stats can't measure. Players play harder when they see the organization making moves that align with their own championship goals. And let me tell you right now, fans are responding the same way. Cowboys Nation is lit up across social media, celebrating, analyzing, arguing, predicting, hyping up future matchups, envisioning how this defense will look against division rivals like the Eagles and Giants, imagining the Cowboys lining up against the 49ers with a fully loaded secondary ready to clamp down on all those motion-heavy crossing routes that have given them trouble in the past. And as a content creator, this is the type of moment you live for, because these are the moves that bring energy, passion, conversation, debate, excitement, everything that makes football the spectacle that it is. But let's get into the football reality of this too, because from a strategic standpoint, this addition changes everything about how Dallas can call games defensively. Instead of being forced into soft zone looks whenever the third corner was on the field, the Cowboys now have the flexibility to stay aggressive with man coverage, press fronts, disguised pressures, and tighter passing lanes. This means Micah Parsons gets an extra half second. This means quarterbacks get more frantic and make more mistakes. This means safeties can play more freely and aggressively. This means Zimmer can get creative with blitz packages using linebackers and slot corners. The domino effect is enormous. And honestly, the more you think about it, the more you realize how perfect the timing is, because Asante Samuel Jr. is still early in his career, still improving, still ascending, meaning the Cowboys aren't just making a splash for right now but also securing a long-term pillar for the defense. That type of long-view thinking combined with win-now boldness is exactly how championship teams build themselves. And from a leadership standpoint, adding a young, hungry player often injects fresh energy into the entire roster, and you can already imagine the practices Samuel Jr. going at it with CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, pushing each other every rep, iron sharpening iron. It elevates everyone. And as I wrap this massive breakdown, let me just say that moves like this are why we love football: the surprise, the tension, the excitement, the instant debate, the potential to reshape the entire landscape of a season. This is one of those moments. So Cowboys Nation, let me hear you. How are you feeling about this blockbuster deal? What are your expectations for Samuel Jr.? Do you think this secondary is now the best in the NFC? And does this move change your outlook on the Cowboys' chances of making a real championship run? Whatever you think, drop it in the comments, because this is going to be one of the most talked about topics of the entire offseason, and trust me, we've got plenty more to break down as this story continues to unfold. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and get ready, because this season just got a whole lot more